I spent about 7 years chasing this one dream of being like an action sports or skateboarding YouTuber. I gave it everything, but in the end I failed, or at least that's how I felt in the beginning. To make a really long story short, I kind of regret nothing, even though it felt like the path I was running down sort of came to like a dead end, at least at first glance. So the whole time that I was taking this channel like super seriously and trying to grow and be a skate YouTuber and everything, I felt like I was racing against the clock. I knew that by the time I graduated college, I need to have made it. And when I say made it, I mean be at a point where this channel was supporting me enough financially that I could live just off the work that this channel was producing. So like full transparency here, I think the most I was making at the peak of this channel was like a range of between like $500 and like best month ever was like $1,200 with brand deals, which is nowhere near where you need to be like in the real world to support yourself, especially in 2025. I started to look at how to use my degree and get a job. The initial plan was that I was gonna get maybe a part-time job or maybe just any job to support the bills while chasing this dream full-time while working that job. Started looking for jobs, and then I got a job. Still, it's like the Smiths say, like heaven knows I was fucking miserable.
Every fucking day, bro. Every fucking day.
And about 3 months into that job, I like really reevaluated like how naive I was on what it takes to survive and succeed in this world, and like just how naive I was. And it was around then that this channel started to take like a real back seat, and I started having doubts about the whole dream that I thought I wanted initially. I still skate to this day. I actually have a broken rib right now, so not exactly right now, but before I broke my rib, I still skate like 4 to 6 times a week. Like I skate a lot. It's just the commitment of making those long form videos is like a huge one. Like it takes so much time, so much planning, especially to have one do really well. I don't know, maybe after just 7 years of doing it, it's just like everything sort of lost its flair. I have fun skateboarding, but I think it's not as fun as it used to be. Without saying I don't like skating, it's not like the thing where I'm like, I want to spend the rest of my life still doing this. So yeah, the main struggle was like I'm working so much at my full-time job, and then like to stack the excess or the extra work that it would take to continue to grow this channel would have me working like 24/7, 7 days a week. Started thinking about like if it was worth it for the first time in my life, and came to the conclusion that I don't think it's worth that amount of effort anymore. From that point until now, basically I'd say there's a 2-year point that I was kind of in limbo of like, do I hold on to this channel, or like, do I try to be who I once wanted to be, or do I try to like move on to something different? I basically fell into sort of like a quarter life crisis on exactly what to do next, and that's sort of like a tough spot to be, where I'm like, if I went through that once, then it's like, how do you chase a dream in the future if you're always gonna have the fear of like the thing that you want now, like you don't want by the time you get it? But in the end, I kind of just feel like that's what life is really about. That's where I'm really trying to get onto the idea of this like pivot. And this is probably the most important thing I learned in this whole process was the pivot, how to successfully navigate and keep yourself on track. So it kind of felt like I was like throwing this whole channel away, and it really felt like a sunken cost, which is basically like I put all this investment of time and energy into this, and it felt like it was kind of for nothing. But I really don't think that was true. Like I learned a lot from this channel. I learned how to grind, how to be self-disciplined, how to connect with people. I learned a lot about marketing, which is the field that I work in full-time now. I pretty much got my first job because of this channel. I learned a ton about like video, how to edit, how to write a story. And these are like real-world skills that I didn't think I wanted, but I ended up accidentally learning by putting my effort into this channel. Like it was pretty much all learned from this channel. And throughout these years, I've sort of had this idea of like an alternative dream, something that was like has been exciting me for a while, but I never chased. I just wanted to get more like DJ gigs. I really like house music, I like techno. I love DJing, but I knew it was gonna take a lot of effort because these days, like, I would have to build a presence from the ground up on all new channels. And that idea scared me because I built my presence here on the skateboard channel. So I was scared of like building it all again, like going through the steps of starting from scratch, because that's really like what it felt like. And so I pretty much did like nothing except contemplate for 2 years. And then a couple months ago, like I went to this open decks thing, and that experience was, it was like as fun as this YouTube channel used to be in like 2016 to like 2020. Like it was something that this skateboarding dream, I haven't felt like that in years, and it was like something totally new. What really ended up costing me in this whole like couple years wasn't that I have the sunken cost of a YouTube channel, but the inability to like pivot and move forward into a thing that was actually exciting and that I wanted to do now. So really I would say like my only real regret is that I didn't do this 2 years earlier when I first wanted to do it, because I was scared to make a pivot. Like that was the biggest lesson. Yeah, I really believe that what you can like perceive as failures typically are not actually failures unless you let yourself be, or you convince yourself that it is in fact a failure. And I think one of the worst things that you can do, because this life, they say it's short, but it's actually pretty long, and you'll probably end up liking quite a few things, and you should always be looking for ways to pivot and evolve. And also, when I look back on it, I think that I really did live this dream out, like to an extent that like I really was living the dream every day that I was chasing the skate YouTube thing. Act of living and chasing your dream, it really doesn't get better than that. I think I had more fun with this channel when I first started chasing it, and I had like 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers was like the most fun. And by no means have I like made it, but I was actively living the dream at that time. And I think I was fully succeeding, and I was taking all the right steps to where I wanted to be, and everything made sense. And I think that idea of like chasing the things you actively want, that is like always gonna be truly living the dream. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna put all my new socials in the description below. Trust the process. I'm gonna keep taking steps and doing what I see as right. And I hope y'all have been good, and I hope I still have some audience left here. Peace.